You are
His parents, William Tyrell, his dad. Oh, sorry. And this is his mom, Rosanna Tyrell.
Are you familiar with what he did today?
We're familiar with what they said. We don't agree that that's right. We also agree that he's being held accountable for things that aren't really applicable to this case.
I'm asking him not to use drugs or alcohol.
I know.
That's all I'm asking him to do. And he's constantly testing positive, and now he's taking a Whizzinator into the room.
Well,
That's wrong.
it's wrong. And we don't
He
want.
can be charged criminally for that. That's an offense in and of itself.
Pause right there. Did you catch that? The judge isn't just scolding here. He's hinting at brand new criminal charges. Tampering with a drug test? Yeah, that's not a slap on the wrist kind of thing. That's a whole separate criminal offense.
Falsifying your drug test, it's a Class B misdemeanor. You're facing another 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine.
What about, I mean, our concern and his concern is simple. This girl.
I'm not.
I know.
No, we're not talking about the case. We're talking.
What is the case?
No, we're talking about the ability to remain clean and sober, first and foremost. We're not even talking about the case at this point. We're only talking about remaining clean and sober. He's repeatedly been unable to do that, and now he's trying to fool us.
Well, he has an issue that we know.
I think what needs to happen is I think the first thing you need to do is you need to talk to your lawyer before you make any statements. The only thing I'm going to say is that I'm extremely upset, disappointed, and taking him into custody. You know, you've repeatedly failed to appear for court. You've repeatedly tested positive for a lot of substances, and now you're trying to fool us yet again. It's unacceptable, and there has to be accountability.
This is where Judge Fleischer drops what I call the future you speech. He's warning Tyrell that the addiction and deception cycle doesn't just magically stop, it snowballs. Question for you. Do you think tough love works in a situation like this, or does it just push someone further away?
And you need to accept that you can't continue to do what you're doing, Mr. Tyrell. You're digging yourself into a hole that you cannot crawl out of. This monkey on your back will be there for the rest of your life. And if you don't get out of it now, you're going to be 70 years old with the continual on your back, in and out of custody. You're so messed up right now, you can barely open your eyes, man.
Your Honor.
And I don't know if you're enabling it or you're closing your eyes because of the love that you have as a father, but
He has severe ADHD and severe Tourette syndrome. And we put him in a recovery center, and we told them, we sent them the documentation. They told us every day they were getting the medication they ever did. Never did. Until they finally refused to answer my phone calls because I kept calling him up for what he needs to be on. I said, this ADHD medicine robs him of his chemicals and his dopamine chemicals in his brain. And he goes, he uses drugs to put them back. And I said, the Tourette's makes him not make good decisions. It's not a good combination. And they said, yes, that's the case in almost many drug addicts with ADHD. And they wouldn't fix it, right? And so I got pretty upset with him because he got out and he had a pill bottle that he got the day he got out. They had never given him any pills the entire time he was there for his solution. So I agree that it's a bad problem and a wrong problem, but I also agree it's not entirely his fault. I mean, I'd like to beat his head, but that doesn't work.
And
Yep, you heard that right. A Whizzinator. For the uninitiated, that's basically a fake urine device. And in court, that's like walking into a police station with a fake mustache and saying you're not suspicious.
pains me because I think that as a father and as a mother, due to love, a lot of times, you know, and I don't know necessarily you, but people tend to kind of shut their eyes and become naive to the fact that they're using, be that as it may, he's trying to fool us, and it's unacceptable. And there has to be accountability for it. I can't just let him go when you're using a Whizzinator to try to fool us. It's unacceptable, and there has to be accountability. And the problem is that I think that what we need to do now is have him evaluated by our clinicians to see how we go forward. So what I'd like to do is, while he's in custody now, I can have it done in a very expedited manner. I can have it done within, today's what, Tuesday? We can hopefully have a report back by Friday to see, at the latest Monday, to see how we go forward. Our clinicians can talk to him, and if he's honest, figure a way to go about doing this. And I'm going to tell you now, while I have him here, I can pay everything for you, so you don't have to pay for a dime. If you're on the
Now here's the hammer drop. 25 to life. That's not courtroom theater. That's the very real risk if Terrell racks up enough felony points. Judges use this moment to break denial and make the stakes crystal clear.
outside, though, I can't pay for it.
We can forward you doctor's records and things like that.
My only concern and the only thing I want now is our clinicians to be able to speak to him to see where we go forward. Mr. Terrell, I'm going to have you what's called TRAS to see, it's an evaluation to see where we go from here. If we get this TRAS back and it tells me that your little bunny's jumping in the woods and that there's no problems, then I know that you weren't honest, and I'm going to make you go do it right back again. And we're going to continue to do it until you're honest. But, you can lie to me, but you can't lie to yourself. You can't be like this forever. At some point, you're going to be a habitual and you're looking at 25 to life.
I
Thank
forgot
you
what
for
it is.
your patience.
Thank you for your patience, but
You don't have to. And I'm really, really, truly sorry.
he
that
did man up and come in. He wasn't going to. We had to fight with him and beg with him. He didn't.
to come in.
He didn't want
Of
to.
course. No one wants to go to jail.
And because he said, I said, he's not going to put you in jail. He goes, yes, he will. And I said, no, he has a heart. He's not going to put you in jail. He knows that you have a problem. The problem is an issue, stopping the thing that's causing this is the
Is
issue.
your last name Mr. Terrell?
Yes.
We've tried that. I gave him to you.
But he didn't, we tried it, but like I said, the underlying cause, which we've only just recently found, or
They've
found
never
that it may be,
treated
they've
this.
never treated.
I understand.
And
I
so
understand.
here he's untreated and still being treated like it's a normal case, and it's not real.
I tried. I've given him back to you guys. I've asked him repeatedly to stay sober and not use, and he continues to do so. No matter how many times I give him to you, it's
That's being
going
caused by something.
to continue, and you have to realize it. And if you think that just him saying, okay, I'm going to stop,
As for many people.
it may have. And yes, it may have.
So how long are you putting it in for?
I don't know. For now, I would like to have him TRAS to see where they go. My feeling is that they're probably going to say that he needs inpatient rehab,
He's already been to
not in the jail.
CS. You sentenced him to that last year. Why, Mac?
I don't have act. We didn't put him in WAMAC.
And here we get a clash of narratives. The parents say the system ignored his mental health needs. The judge points to repeated probation violations. This is where the blame game can derail actual solutions.
Did we do WAMAC with him?
That they never actually treated the symptoms either.
So
probation.
we have other. If WAMAC didn't work, we have other facilities that we can go to, and we've got at least 3 to 4 different facilities, and we can continue to put them into each facility until it fixes.
He has this felony case that this case is associated with this next week, of which
So
we're
will they
hoping
release-
gets thrown out of court.
They have also facilities as well to help treat as well. We both do. We both have facilities. They have more resources than we do because there are more serious cases up there, so they have quite a bit of more resources.
It does look like he wants a why am I that's many there's like this, attitude and thinking now
It was for drugs because he was on probation for drugs. That's why he was.
No. What she's saying is that
the program that he went to was supposed to address like this thinking, attitude and things. So they were gonna assess him now that that he has mental health issues and as well as substance issues.
His went last time because of substance abuse. That's what the story.
no, but she's saying no.
She said no, but this time
Well, I think, Judge, they might be referring to the deferred was adjudicated based off of drug violations. He tested positive for many times for drugs. That's why his guilt was adjudicated in that case in this court. I think that may be what they're referring to.
It was because he was on probation for drugs. And they actually put him in there, and then when he came, he couldn't even get his lawyer when he came to court. He got a court-appointed lawyer when he had a lawyer. He was paid for it twice, and it was very frustrating to us that he doesn't seem to be getting fair treatment. It doesn't. It seems like he's being held as an example and he's given as an example and not being given fair treatment. And
How is he not being given fair treatment?
well,
Tell me.
I just really wanted. My wife is not going to be happy if I.
Well, no, but it seems like you're blaming me for the situation,
no, sir. What we're trying to say that he never got that assessment for the mental issues.
And they were told. They were told over and over again. I wrote
They.
the court officials, the probation officers. Everyone was told that he had these issues and problems. They did nothing about it. Okay, his attorney brought paperwork to the court, Mike Mull.
Yeah, just we gave him the paperwork with all the.
Nobody did anything about it.
it.
So we keep going. You guys keep blaming this stuff, but you just keep holding him up as an example and punishing him, and we never try to find out what's the problem.
Put people in jail when they violate conditions, when they do something against the law. We don't willy-nilly put people in jail for s and giggles. We don't do that here.
Why is
If
there?
someone has a true problem, then we give them the opportunity to try to do things on their own. When it becomes evident that they're unable to, that's when we try to step in. I don't do this out of hate.
outside of he, we know that he has a problem, but outside of that, like he has a felony charge, they aren't giving these bond requirements, and this misdemeanor court is giving these bond requirements when the felony court is not. So
I can't tell you what the felony court, I want to make sure that he's not using alcohol or drugs.
it has nothing to do with his case.
How do you know that? How do you know that he's charged with a felony assault? He's charged with interference with emergency request for assistance. How do you know that the drugs and alcohol that are using did not impact this?
Because he was sound asleep. All right, and they
Bond set at just over 20 grand. And the judge makes it clear this isn't just about keeping Terrell in check, it's about forcing consistent monitoring. Twice-a-week tests? That's basically a probation officer with a calendar and a stopwatch.
she stuck a machete through his TV.
Not the
Okay, I know we're not supposed to. I apologize.
Look.
That just feels very wrong.
I know that you see through the eyes of a loving father, and I'm not going to fault you for that. I get it, and I understand that, and I'm sorry. I really am. But I think that the best thing for him now is in a facility that he doesn't have access to drugs or alcohol. And I'm trying to do my best to keep him clean and sober. He tried to fool us now by using a Whizzinator.
This is why he didn't want to come in here. He would rather be run, that's why he didn't want to come back.
Okay, and you can't run forever, Mr. Terrell.
I know. I tell about
So it's better to man up and get it done now than to run forever and do some irreparable damage. Just bear with me. I'm trying to do the best I can to keep him clean and sober so he doesn't pick up new cases.
You haven't revoked his bond, is what he's asking.
Yes, I'm revoking his bond. I'm setting it at $20,004 right now. But if you bond him out, that's your choice. But I'm going to continue with the same things that I'm doing. And I'm now going to have him come twice a week to test with me. And the next time he tests positive, and I don't care what it is, the bond is going to end up even higher than it is. And at some point, we're going to address the issue.
Trying to teach
But I'm
them.
not going to continue to let you use. The first thing we have to do is we have to evaluate to see which one is the best one. You know, they have mental health caseloads. They have other. The first thing that needs to happen is we have to have him evaluated, speak to a clinician. They can tell us which the best path to go forward. They may say he needs intensive outpatient treatment. They may say he needs SATUP, which is an inpatient facility. I don't know until we have him evaluated. But understand, I like your son. I want the best for him. I really truly, and he doesn't get it.
No, because we watched on TikTok him being in front of your court, you know, and we're going, what the heck is that doing on TikTok, you know?